So this video is for Functional Skills Level 2 and it's about multiplying decimals. Before we get started, are you confident with place value and with decimal places? And do you have a method, a non-calculator method, of multiplying 2 and 3 digit numbers that works? It doesn't matter what it is, but you need to have one. If you don't, get in touch with me and I can help you with that. So the way I multiply decimals has 4 stages. The first one is I take out the decimal points. Then I multiply the numbers as normal. I count the number of decimal places in the question and I put the decimal point back into my answer. Let me show you what that looks like. So I've got an example question here of 3.2 multiplied by 4.5. So I'm going to take out the decimal points first of all, and then that becomes 32 multiplied by 45, which you can multiply whichever way you feel most comfortable, and it should give you the answer of 1,440. But my question isn't 32 multiplied by 45, it's 3.2 multiplied by 4.5, so I've got to put my decimal point back in. First of all, I'm going to look at 3.2 and I can see that that number has got one decimal place. It's got one number after the decimal point. And the same with 4.5. So in my question, there are 2 numbers that are after the decimal point, and that tells me how many places I need to move the decimal point back. My answer here is 1,440, so the decimal point would be there. And I'm going to move it 2 places, 1, 2. So I've got 14.40. So my answer to 3.2 multiplied by 4.5 is 14.40, or just 14.4 because I don't need the 0 now I've put the decimal point back in. Got 1.24 multiplied by 5.5. So I'm going to take my decimal point out. So I've got 124 multiplied by 55. And you calculate that however you do your multiplication, and you should get the answer of 6,820. Now I need to put the decimal point back in because my question isn't 124 multiplied by 55. It's 1.24 multiplied by 5.5. So here I've got 2 numbers after the decimal point, and here I've got 1 number after the decimal point. So I need to move my decimal point from here 3 places. 1, 2, 3, and it goes there. So the answer to 1.24 multiplied by 5.5 is 6.820, or 6.82, because again I don't need the 0 on the end now I've moved the decimal point. Here's one for you to have a go at. Pause the video. So I've got 3.6 multiplied by 5. I'm going to take my decimal point out, and that gives me 36 multiplied by 5, which is 180. I'm going to look at my question. And here I've only got 1 number after the decimal point, so I'm going to move my decimal point from here to here. So instead of having 180, now I've got 18. The answer to 3.6 multiplied by 5 is 18.0, or just 18 as we would say. There is another video on dividing decimals, one on adding and subtracting decimals. I hope you enjoy them.